Good day, good day. It's God Says Ministries, the House of Fire, and I'm Prophet Tavis. So I was looking for a prophecy that I didn't speak. It was spoken to me some 15 years ago. And so I was going into my computer and going back, searching for it. And while I was searching, I came across a prophecy I had forgotten about on the 6th of March 2020. I came across this prophecy on the 6th of March 2020 that I spoke in that 6th of March 2020 that the Spirit gave me. And this prophecy has to do with South Africa. It's actually the first prophecy that I got of South Africa, which I had forgotten about. And on my phone, I have a number of prophecies I've spoken, which I've put onto the phone. But for some reason, I didn't have this one on the phone. It was on my main computer. And this prophecy speaks of stuff that's actually happening now. You know, this is before South Africa was outed back in Iran, and South Africa was outed backing Hamas and taking Israel to court for genocide. So this prophecy was before all this nonsense came out. In fact, this prophecy was before the Julius Malema prophecy and before the RAMAPHOSA prophecy and RAMAPHOSA and Brothers prophecy. So this is how this prophecy goes. In fact, I'm going to go back first to the prophecy of Iran, the conflict that's just going on now. That we just had conflict in Iran. And I'm going to read this prophecy again. This was on the 1st of August 2020. So 1st of August 2020. So 5 years old. God says, I will break the back of Persia and their princes. Though they will sling stones at my children, their naked truth will be exposed. So though they sling stones at my children, Israel, their naked truth will be exposed. And they will shout and puff up their chests like the Philistine that stood before my David. Philistine, Palestine. Philistine, Palestine, that stood before my David. As he found the dust of the earth, so will they. 9 and 12 days will they laugh, and then no more. 9 and 12 days will they laugh, and then no more. Well, it was 9 days when America dropped those bombs on the nuclear facility. 9 days. And it was 12 days until the ceasefire between Israel, America, and Iran. So they called it a 12-day war. 9 days, 9 and 12 days where they laugh, and then no more. For I will trade their stones for fire. Those were tons and tons of bombs that were dropped on there, plus the missiles hitting their targets, burning through Iran. I will trade their stones for fire and burn through their land, sending them into the holes of the hills and the darkness of their own burrows. Then I will pour out my spirit, and then I will pour my spirit out over the land, and those tortured by fathers on those tortured by fathers and forefathers, and heal the land, and my children will once again dance in the streets. So the Muslims that took over there literally tortured their own people. Tortured their own people. Fathers gave up their own daughters and sons to the regime to kill and torture. Here we have a prophecy about Iran, on the 1st of August 2020, 5 years ago. But on the 6th of March 2020, God gave me, so before the August, gave me this prophecy. I'm bringing up Iran for a reason. Listen to the prophecy. This is to the people and the governments of corruption and the cartels that are running this country into the ground. God says, deception runs rife in the land and causes strife among my people, putting brother against brother. Eastern and northern lands have come like Trojan horses, shiny and dripping with jewels, welcomed by greedy, wicked men, blinded to the danger by their own greed. Russia, China, Iran have become the puppet masters of the greedy as they put brother against brother. They take my children and fill their heads with lies of indifferences and hate. They seek to conquer the land from within its own walls, using the lie of indifference and filling it with hate. But I have had enough of the deception and expose their hand. And my prophets will hear the words, and will hear my words, and I will open their mouths of truth and cause brother and brother to stand together and reveal the secrets of darkness. Their light will penetrate the halls and corridors of darkness and flush out the foreigners within them. While my prophets are still speaking what they see, I will pour out my spirit on the confused hearts of the streets, and I will reveal many signs and wonders in the land. Africa will recognize this deception and see with new eyes the red banners that lurk behind their walls, Africa's walls, as the light of my glory spreads throughout African lands. And they will stand with the prophets of the South Africa, and I will bring brothers together, and neighbors will share in their joy and prosperity. The time for the true prophet to stand the time for the true prophet to stand and speak is now. 6th of March 2020. No one can say that I just made up this prophecy now to go back to that time, because it's recorded on my Facebook page, on many of my apps. It's recorded in time. On that day, it was put out, 6th of March 2020. This is South Africa. It's talking to an Africa, but mainly South Africa. Talking about Russia, China, and Iran. That's why I said to you, I went to the Iran prophecy first, because South Africa is being backed by Iran, backed by the devil himself. Devil himself backed. And our South Africa is pushing the lies of Iran on its own people. And the own people, our South Africans don't know that Russia, China, and Iran have infiltrated not only South Africa, but the many other African countries, and holding African countries hostage. Making promises of building for South Africa, and knowing that Africa can't pay for what they're building, and then taking land, mining rights, and everything away to pay for what they've built. Building stuff that they know Africa won't be able to pay for. I see it in Uganda. Chinese is in there building lovely roads and everything. Bribery, corruption is rife in the Ugandan government as well, especially with the Ugandan president. And this is the same thing with our president here, Ramaphosa, and even so-called enemy of Ramaphosa, Julius Malema, has the same backing. That's why Julius Malema causes trouble wherever he goes, because he's paid to do it. Iran is in the pockets of South African corrupt government officials and cartels that are running this country. Corruption, China, Russia, mainly China and Iran. But you can see now the link where God links Iran to South Africa. Here is the prophecy. I'll read it one more time for you to see. 6th of March 2020, 5 years ago. Deception runs rife in the land and causes strife among people, putting brother against brother. Eastern and northern lands have come like Trojan horses, shiny and dripping with jewels, welcomed by greedy, wicked men, blinded to the danger by their greed. Russia, China, and Iran have become the puppet masters of the greedy as they put brother against brother. They take my children and fill their heads with lies of indifference and hate. They seek to conquer the land from within its own walls, using the lie of indifference and filling it with hate. But I have had enough of their deception and will expose their hand. My prophets will hear my words, and I will open many mouths of truth and cause brother and brother to stand together and reveal the secrets of darkness. Their light will penetrate the halls and corridors of darkness and flush out the foreigners within them. While my prophets are still speaking what they see, I will pour out my spirit on the confused hearts of the streets, and I will reveal many signs and wonders in the land. Africa will recognize this deception and see with new eyes the red banners that lurk behind their walls as the light of my glory spreads throughout African lands. And they will stand with the prophets of the South. And I will bring brothers together, and neighbors will share in their joy and prosperity. The time for the true prophet to stand and speak is now. That's the word that was hidden away. I forgot about this prophecy. It's over 5 years old. It was all on my main computer. And now you can see what God is talking about. This is way before we knew South Africa was hands in hands with Iran. Way before that they were backing Iran and the proxies of Iran in Palestine, the Philistine, the Hamas. God bless you. May His favor drip from every part of you. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen.